Hey everybody, something a little bit different for you this month. So the 1% Club doors are currently open, and as part of the 1% Club membership, you get access to our masterclasses. Now these are about 65, I think we've got of these different, uh, almost like seminars, online presentations on everything from accountability, knowing your numbers, LinkedIn, list building, websites, pricing strategy, time management, weekly emails, deep work, Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, content marketing, conversion rate optimization, you name it. We've created a deep dive seminar on that topic. They're all available for you to watch on demand in your members area. Now, when new 1%ers come into the club, we normally signpost them to a handful of these masterclasses to start. And one of the very, very first masterclasses that we signpost people to is our 90-day plan masterclass. So the entire 1% Club collective work in these 90-day tranches. So the idea is every 90 days, you make a plan for your business, what you're going to achieve over the next 3 months. We then break it down into simple stepping stones, getting you from one to the next, and hold you accountable to doing that. Now, obviously, one of the first things we want to do is get people actually up to speed with making their first 90-day plan. So what I thought we'd do this month is actually share that masterclass with you. So you don't need to join the 1% Club to get access to this. I'm going to play it for you right now. Now, if you are listening to this podcast on an audio-only format, some of what we're going to talk about in this masterclass requires screenshots, it requires slides, things like that, all available on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and just search Ambitious Lifestyle Business, you'll come up with our YouTube channel. The video of this episode, together with the masterclass that Jason and I have pre-recorded, is all available there for you. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to myself and Jason with our 90-day plan masterclass. Hey everybody, it's John Lamberton here alongside my good friend and business partner, Mr. Jason Brockman. We are here for another episode of the Ambitious Lifestyle Business Podcast, where as always, it is our job to help you get more customers and make more money without just working harder. So without further ado, let's dive straight into this month's episode. Cool, everybody, welcome to a 90-day planning masterclass. So this is linked to the goal setting masterclass. However, it is specifically looking at our 90-day plan framework because many of you will have received one of these. No, not a really, really good looking chap from Plymouth. The World Domination Plans. I think obviously all new 1%ers get sent one of these. But I think, JC, we get a lot of comments saying, great, I've got the book. What the hell do I do with it?
Yep, indeed. It's blank. That's no good. I want it filled up, please.
Yeah. And how can I get someone to do it all for me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So the first place to start before you even open your World Domination Planner is to think about your North Star. What is the long-term vision for both your business and indeed for your lifestyle that you want? Which direction are we headed? Where is the, what's the other framework we've used? Derek Sivers talks about the mountain on the horizon. You know, where are we heading? Where are we walking towards? Once you've got that long-term vision, then it's time to open your planner. And this is kind of the first interactive page that you need from the planner. And this is the could-do list. And there's a reason.
I love this page.
Sorry?
I love this page. It's the best page of the book.
It is, because this is the dreaming page, isn't it? This is the bit where you don't need to actually do anything. You just write down anything that you could do to grow your business, to improve your business, to take your business and your lifestyle to that North Star, to that mountain on the horizon. So you know where you want to go. How are you going to get there? Guarantee you've already got ideas about how you could get there. We could update the website. We could send out a direct mail piece. We could start doing Facebook ads. We could start doing Google ads. I could hire a new business development manager. I could hire a new sales team. Or we could outsource our telesales to this place. Or we could outsource our admin to a VA in the Philippines. Before you know it, these pages will be full. And I've kind of graduated now from this to a fluid Google Doc, which is about 7 pages long of stuff that I could do. Now, I think one of the most important things here is the word could, because what this is a brain dump. This is just you connecting your brain to the pen and not letting rationality, common sense, or anything else stop you. It's just writing down what you could do. So I could hire a new sales team. Write it down before your brain goes, oh, it's a bit hard. That's going to cost quite a bit of money. Have we got the space for them? Write it down. Something you could do, because later, when you triage this list, that's when rationality and objectivity comes into it a little bit. Any other thoughts on the could?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, if you've written it down on the piece of paper, you're not going to forget it. It's not in your head anymore. It's not spinning around. This 3 a.m. wake up, oh, we could do this with the business. Let's go and start researching it, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do that then. Let's whack it in the book. It's there forever and a day. It'll stay in the book. At some point, we can then move on and using it. But I think it's just so powerful just to get it out of your head, really, because that just frees up a lot of mind space and a lot of thought. Your thought process can be put in the right direction.
It is, and this is where this isn't necessarily a one and done process. So I like to do it as an exercise once a quarter. But let's imagine that you've done the exercise. 3 weeks later, you read a book, you listen to a podcast, you see a TED Talk, you come on a coaching call in the 1% Club, and you get a brilliant idea for something that you could do to grow the business, to improve the business. Don't do that idea then, because you're sticking to your plan. Stick it on your could-do list. Because the idea is you then review your could-do list once a quarter to figure out what's worth doing. There is a rating box on here as well. So do you find people struggle with knowing how to rate their ideas?
Yeah, quite often, because they're always a really good idea, aren't they? So that must be something I should do because I've just written it down, so it must be important. And it's really hard then to go, well, actually, is that important, or is that 3 down more important? Which one's going to get you that biggest bang for your buck? If you did this one, what's going to open doors for the other ones that's on the list? What's the lead domino? So there are, no two tasks are the same value. Most have a different kind of degree, really, and it's that bit you put in there. So some people rate them in letters, A, B, C, depending on what the priority is. Some are in up to 10, up to 3, however kind of that looks, really. Something that are on the never to do list, it will be sometime, it may never happen kind of thing, and that's a 10. Whereas number 1 is like, yeah, that's absolutely the thing I really must do now, because if I haven't got a website, I can't have a funnel. If I haven't got a funnel, I haven't got an email capture list. So there's, there are no two jobs are the same kind of thing or same value.
Yeah, it's your own rating framework. It's not rating necessarily how easy the task is, because you're going to have stuff on here that's really easy and you could tick it off, but it isn't going to give you a good bang for your buck. It's not going to give you a high ROI. You're going to have stuff that's very high ROI, but also 6 months work, and you haven't got the capacity to do that. So you may... this is where it's triaging everything on the list and saying, okay, given the time I have available to me over the next 90 days, what's achievable, what's most important, and what's going to give me a good return on investment. there will be items on here that you may want to rate as not this quarter. That might be your only rating, is not even going to look at that this quarter. You're going to have stuff that, when you identify it, would be on what Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger would call the too hard pile. And you may have, of the stuff that's left, easy stuff that can be done quickly, hard stuff that can take a little bit longer, and varying estimated return on investments. Your sweet spot is to find the most important thing that you could achieve this quarter. So we get a brain dump out, all the ideas get vomited onto these pages. We then get some order to the chaos. And what normally happens without a planner is this process all swims around your head. And you go, oh God, I need to hire that sales team. Oh my God, I need to write that sales letter. Oh God, we need to update the website. Yeah, but I need to do the emails first. Oh my God. Yeah, but in order to do the emails, I need to get the website capture form done. Oh, I don't know about doing that. Oh, that means I need to hire someone over here. Yeah, but I read in this book over here that we should do this. Get it out of your brain, get it on paper, get it organised.
Yeah, the side of that, I guess, is it becomes the to-do list, and you start at the top and you tick off as you're going through. Or even worse, oh, that's a really easy one, I'll tick that off. Oh, there's another easy one, I'll tick that off. And actually, you never get around to getting the big things done because you're too busy hitting the low-hanging fruits.
And you're then no closer to that North Star, that mountain on the horizon. So we take the big could-do list, the brain dump of everything that you could do to improve the business, and we turn it into 3 big things. That's the aim here. 3 things that we're looking to achieve. 3 things in 90 days doesn't sound very much. But if you think now, when you're watching this video, what was happening 3 months ago, that went by in a flash. That's gone in no time at all. 3 months is a very short period of time. It's what I call the Goldilocks of goal setting. It's long enough to get something meaty done, but it's not so far in the horizon that it's a big scary project that you're never going to get done. So all we're looking to do is take the previous 2 pages of notes, stuff you could do, and say, right, I'm going to commit to doing 3 of them. And depending on how big your goals are and how big your ambition is, you may choose to do part of a project. So when I'm writing a book, for example, I don't write a book in 90 days, but I will aim to get to a particular milestone within 90 days. So I may say, this quarter, I'm going to get 30,000 words done of my first draft. The next quarter, I'm going to get the first draft complete. Third quarter, I'm going to get it fully edited and proofed and ready to launch. And then fourth quarter, it's launched. So that's a year-long project that, without having those 90-day milestones, the year-long project wouldn't get done. Because if I just had one goal of write a book, well, I get 2 months in and I go, I've still got a year to do this. So I don't need to worry about it yet. So I won't do anything. And then I get to 6 months, it's like, oh, I'm well behind with this project. Oh, this is getting a bit scary. And I get to 9 months in, it's like, well, it ain't going to happen. So there's not even any point. By having those mini goals, mini milestones, I can ensure that I get to it. What sort of things do you tend to see people putting on their big 3, Jace?
To be honest, it's a really tricky question because it's different for everybody, isn't it? And that's the thing there. Everyone's could-do list is different and every business area is different. It could be something along the lines of website. I need to get the website up, running, or better, or finished. It could be along the lines of I need to get another 10 customers in. It may be that I need to get my income up by a certain percentage or whatever. It may be that I need to build an email list, start a funnel, get an email list together. It may be I've just read one book and I need to do this now. It may be I've just heard a masterclass and I need to do that. But yeah, it's a hard one to say what people generally tend to think. But obviously, out of those things that I've said, some of them are what we'd put in the big 3, and some of them are stepping stones to big 3 things, I guess.
Again, ultimately, it's thinking, right, you've got your long-term vision. This is where I want the business to be. Ultimately, this is where I want my lifestyle to be. Ultimately, the big three or the next 90 days, it's about bringing that back and saying, okay, it's 3 months later. So we're recording this in March. So let's say, what do we want our business to look like in June? Let's go forward in time. What could this business look like 3 months from now? Because to be perfectly frank with most people, in 3 months your business is going to look very much like it does now, but a little better. And that's what we're aiming for. It's constant, never-ending improvement. Because if you do a little bit better every quarter, by the time you've stacked up 6, 7, 8 quarters of constant improvements, I mean, as we said, I think Alan Parry was one of the people who said, if you improve your business 19% a quarter, you double your business in a year. Well, most people think, well, actually 19% in a quarter, I could probably do that. And maybe that's one of your big three, is to improve your profitability by 19%. So get that clear vision in your head of 3 months from now, how is my business looking? Quite similar to what it does now, but a little bit better in 3 particular ways. Now that may lead to the same ultimate goal. Then we're bringing that back from 3 months to month 1, month 2, and month 3. So these are the stepping stones. So every month we choose 3 stepping stones. So month 1, again, it's March now. So I know where I want to be in June. It's March. What do I need to do this month, not to achieve the big 3 necessarily? Maybe I won't. And again, this is individual. So it may be you might choose your big 3 and say, I'm going to complete big 3 number 1 in March, number 2 in April, number 3 in June. That was right, isn't it? March, April, June. Yes. We don't have May in this calendar. I've created my own little calendar.
May off, so maybe that's what it is.
Exactly. We're all going on a holiday in May. Or you may choose each month to make progress towards one of the goals, or a mix of both. But ultimately, you're looking at, and where I start with this is I look at my calendar. So, for example, let's look at my current 90-day plan, which is March, April, and May. So I look at what I've got available to me, and I know that March is a very, very busy month because we've got the 1% Club doors open, and in the sports betting business, it's the Cheltenham Festival. April, I've got 2 weeks holiday. Great, that means that the week before the holiday and the week after the holiday are going to be manically busy too. Which means, in terms of my ability to do stuff, my capacity to do the big stuff, I'm down to 1 month out of 3. So I need to take that into account. So month 1 on my current 90-day plan, bearing in mind that's 1% Club doors open and Cheltenham Festival, is pretty much unambitious. It's keep things going. It's make some plans. It's devote a few hours here to this. Get some plans in place. Lay the foundations for month 2 and 3. Month 2, again, I'm on holiday for much of it. It's going to be another busy month. So, again, very unambitious. Write a few emails. Make sure you cement some relationships here. Work with the team to get ready to launch a new product. And then suddenly, month 3 becomes write 20,000 words of a book. Plan and deliver a workshop. Start to execute the plan that I made in month 1. So I've got the overarching view of where I want to go. I know where I want my business to look like in 3 months. Slightly different. I look at my calendar. It's going to be busy. I can't make it much different. So maybe I don't target a 19% growth. Maybe I'm targeting a 4% growth this quarter, which seems, again, wildly unambitious. But it's also, we do have to be a little bit realistic. And I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that 1%ers make, is being too ambitious with their goals. Because when you sit here and you look at a blank planner and you say, well, I've got 3 months in which to do 3 things. Easy. how hard can it be? Well, if you've ever had a to-do list and you've tried to get it done and you make plans, your plans never include the phone ringing, someone popping in, one of the kids getting ill, things taking a little bit longer than expected. I talked about it last week where we had calls, we had a coaching call, then we had a masterclass call, then we had a podcast, and kind of the coaching call overran by about 20 minutes, and then the podcast overran by about 15 minutes, and then the masterclass was about 20 minutes over, and before I know it, I'm an hour and a half behind where I wanted to be, which then created more friction, and it's just the best laid plans go awry. So be realistic with what you can achieve on this one. Any other thoughts on the overarching?
No, you've just covered the bit that I was going to say at the beginning of that section, but I'll let you carry on talking. So it is that overestimation of what you can achieve in that time is the thing.
Yeah, it's without a doubt the biggest thing I think that most people get wrong. So we bring it down to the road and we bring it down to next week. What are you going to do next week? And I think the most important thing on here is your one thing for next week. We've just come off a coaching call where we had a relatively new 1%er who said that the greatest win he'd had recently was this week just beating the week. And if you can go into every week with that mindset of just, how do I beat the week this week? So when you make your plan for next week, and again, every Friday afternoon, I do not finish work for the week until next week is planned. But when you make those plans, again, you make those plans with the best of intentions. You sit there with this blank canvas and you go, oh, great, I've got some free time here. And you don't think that anyone's going to send you an email saying, oh, I need this bit of paperwork off you, or oh, I need an hour of your time, or there are going to be demands on your time that you don't know about yet. There's going to be stuff thrown at you. There's going to be chaos happening in the business. There's going to be some fires that need putting out. But you should still be able to do your one thing. And it's identifying the one thing from this week that keeps you on track for those monthly stepping stones, that keeps you on track for one of the big three, that keeps you on track for the 90-day plan. We then take it daily. You've got a Monday one thing, Tuesday one thing, Wednesday one thing, Thursday, Friday, and there is one thing for the weekend here. Now, we've put this in here because some people work weekends. We've got, I think, Roger is a good example, isn't he? So he's a baker, but he takes Tuesdays off. So we've put it in there as flexibility. Most business owners, most ambitious lifestyle business owners will not be working weekends, but sometimes we do because that's the way the cookie crumbles. So it's there for flexibility. It's not there because everybody needs to be doing stuff 7 days a week. Any other thoughts on the weekly plan?
No, that's great. And as you say, beat the week. What is that one thing that needs to happen to beat the week is overarching. That's it.
And again, the what's the one thing that there's a box around it. There's a done box there. That's deliberate because that's what matters most. Everything else, all that's in the anything else box there, and everything that you scribble down that you'd like to do on Monday and Tuesday, that's all just stuff that it would be nice to get done. Your best intentions are to get it done, but that's kind of a to-do list, which doesn't really matter. The one thing is what matters.
And then, sorry, just to cut in there, that one thing is about driving that business forward. That's heading towards your 90 days. That's not, I must finish a client's accounts. That must mean I don't finish baking a set of croissants. That's not, I got to get some drapes made. That's not, I've got to get on the golf course necessarily. That's, it is, that's your to-do list. That's your stuff you're going to be doing anyway. That's your work. This is your one thing that's going to lead your business into a better place within the 90-day framework.
Yeah.
Because I often see, oh, these are the things I've got to do. I've got to finish this, or I've got to do that. And it's like, well, that's work. That's what you normally do. That's your day to day. That's going to happen anyway because you've got to do it. Because if you don't make your money. So this is the complete different set of things.
So the only other thing I would say about the weekly plan is, and a question I get sometimes is, well, when do I fill it in? do I fill it in on a Friday for the whole week, or do I fill in Thursdays, for example, on Wednesday night or Thursday morning? So my preference is to start to fill this in on the Friday afternoon for the following week. So I will consult my calendar. And the first thing that goes in is the immovable objects. Well, we already have a coaching call happening on Wednesday. We already have meetings happening on Thursday. I've got school runs happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've got this happening on Monday, and this call is there. So I start to block out the immovable objects, and I will literally scribble lines and boxes around the kind of protected time that I don't have. And that enables me then to see the white space, to see, well, actually, Friday afternoon is looking clear. Monday lunchtime, I've got a 3-hour window free to do stuff. That's when I then decide, what am I going to do this week? What is my one thing? Because if I've got on my 90-day plan, write 20,000 words, but I've got an hour here and maybe an hour and a half there, that isn't really going to work. Whereas if I've got a day free, like, cool, block out the day, writing. That's a writing day, and that gets blocked out. And I can only do that when I can see the gaps. What I will then do is I sometimes leave white space deliberately so that I can see how Monday goes. And if Monday goes to plan, I then decide and maybe get a bit more ambitious for Tuesday. Well, Tuesday I'm going to try and do a bit more than I thought. Whereas if I fall behind on Monday, I don't want to have already planned a busy day for Tuesday other than the immovable objects, because I need to adapt. So plan the main structure, what I would call the scaffolding of your week. What is your week going to look like? What's the most important thing you want to do? What's everything else you're going to do? And then plan Monday. Plan Monday every minute of Monday. Monday's planned. At the end of Monday, look at Tuesday. What space have you got? What white space is available? What could you achieve tomorrow? Plan Tuesday, every hour of every day. At the end of Tuesday, do the same for Wednesday, and so on and so forth. If you plan every minute of every day a week in advance, I guarantee you will get stressed beyond belief, because at some point you will fall behind where you should be for the week, and something will happen. There'll be a fire needs putting out, and you don't have space in your calendar to deal with it. So again, it's getting that balance right, isn't it, between being ambitious and letting the week get away with you.
And white space is really important. Contingency time, making sure that you've got some contingency time in there for that email that takes a bit longer, that quote that takes a bit more time to do, the one thing doesn't quite take the hour that you thought it was going to take, those kind of things. So always have some contingency time in there. And I've said this on a couple of coaching calls before, but if you're also the kind of person who likes shiny objects and rabbit holes and research and like to dive into things, then put that in your planner too. Stick that in as a time where you've given yourself permission to go and get lost in some rabbit hole or ant warren or whatever it is that they live in. Because if you don't, squirrel, wherever it is. Because if you don't, you'll end up doing that, and then you'll set yourself up for a fail, which then you feel a bit down, and then actually a thing doesn't work, and then you're just like, and you get angry with yourself, and it all goes a bit wrong in that sort of way. So it's all kind of little tricks really to keep yourself in success or doing it well, rather than kind of seeing the bad stuff that could happen, kind of thing, I guess, really. So yeah, plenty of white space, giving yourself some contingency. Don't forget the client stuff, because that's got to happen too. Make sure that the one thing's done as soon in the plan is that you can do it, so that you've beaten the week. Blocking out time for things like you get diversions, and if that's you, then there's lots of people who have great ideas and they come up with, and they want to go off and find out about it. It's not a bad thing, but just make sure you put some time aside to do that, so that it doesn't fill up a whole day where you should be concentrating on the one thing, and the one thing never gets done then because you're concentrating on stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And don't be afraid to put stuff that isn't working here as well. So you want to play golf on a Friday afternoon, put it in there. You want to do a workout every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, put it in there. As I said, I put school runs in, everything, because ultimately this isn't just about work, it's about your lifestyle. And if your health is important, so you need to work on that. If you want to just play golf, you want to spend family time, you want to have a day with the partner, and you want to go out for lunch, put it in the diary, because if it's important, that becomes an immovable object, and that time gets protected. So I won't go too deep on this because we went into it on the goal setting coaching call, but remember, we are setting our goals in this direction. North Star first, super long term. This is where we ultimately want to be. We then bring it down to the International Space Station, which is like a year from now, 12 months from now. What does it look like? That's where we have a vision board, which again we talked about on the goal setting call, so have a look at that one if you want to know more about vision boards. We then bring the vision board down to a 90-day plan. So in order to achieve the business, the lifestyle I want 12 months from now, what does 3 months from now need to look like? Then we bring the 3-month plan down to a monthly stepping stone. And then obviously we bring it down to one thing. We bring it down to a weekly one thing, and then eventually down to a daily one thing. That's how we set the goals. Of course, we achieve them the other way around. We achieve them by doing the daily one thing first, which keeps us on track to do the weekly one thing, which keeps us on track for the monthly stepping stones, which keeps us on track to achieve the 90-day plan, which keeps us on track for the International Space Station vision a year from now. Get everything on our vision board ticked off, and that moves us towards the ultimate vision, the mountain on the horizon, the North Star, the super long-term vision. We can, of course, increase our odds of success by writing our goals down. I think I talked in Big Ideas for Small Businesses about the fact Arnold Schwarzenegger does this every year. He sits there, he writes these index cards with his goals there. Surprisingly enough, that's why you've got a planner that you can write in. This is why we haven't done it as an app. It's not available as a bit of technology. It is pen and paper. Literally, I have a folder here somewhere. There it is. With every one of my 90-day plans for the last 7 years, which started on a horribly dated, coffee-stained scrap of paper. But I've kept it for a reason, because I want to review what I've achieved over those last 7 years. Where I got a little bit too ambitious, where I really achieved stuff, where I really failed to achieve stuff. But writing it down makes it so much more important that you're going to actually stick to the plan. In terms of sticking to the plan, roughly every 90 days, so one per quarter, we host a 90-day plan check-in call. So one of our coaching calls is a 90-day plan check-in call. This enables you to literally keep in touch with us and make sure that you are sticking to the plan, that you can keep on track or get back on track if you are not. So as Ray Kroc from McDonald's fame says, I plan my work and then work my plan. So yeah, do show us yours. I would love to see your 90-day goals in the Facebook group. Share them with us on a coaching call, because ultimately writing it down and sharing your written goals with others again increases your odds of achieving them. So hopefully that's kind of helped walk you through that planner process and how to actually make your first 90-day plan and hopefully stick to it and achieve it.
And if you're not, that's where I come into it. And you make sure you book in a one-to-one with me on a Thursday, because I'll make sure that one thing's done each week, and it's the right thing that's being done each week. So book in for your one-to-ones with me on a Thursday too.
Fantastic. And do that on the website, 1%club.co.uk/slot.
Yes, indeed.
Easy for me to say. So there you go. That was our 90-day plan masterclass. That, as I said, is a masterclass that we signpost all of our new 1%ers to get them up to speed with making their very first 90-day plan, making the most of their first 3 months within the club, making sure they hit the ground running and get a return on their investment very, very quickly. Now, if you are interested in joining the 1% Club and getting access to not only that masterclass, but the other 65 masterclasses, the couple of hundred coaching calls that are available on demand, as well as live coaching and support from myself and Jason, then you can head to our website, which is bigidea.co.uk. If you click on the button at the top that says coaching, that will take you to a little page where I will explain more about the 1% Club, exactly what it is, how it can help improve not only your business, but also your lifestyle. You hear some case studies and testimonials from existing 1%ers, and you'll see a lot more about what's involved. And if you are interested and you are listening or watching this in the month of September, or indeed the month of March in the future, then you can join the club while it's open. Just as a reminder, for the September 2025 intake, doors are open until Tuesday, the 30th of September at 9 p.m. We do close the doors off then, and we focus on looking after improving the businesses of our existing 1%ers. But if you do want to come in our September intake, doors are open right now, and we'd love to see you in and help you get up to speed with those first 90 days. Other than that, I will speak to you soon. Bye. So there we are, another episode in the can. How was it for you? Please let us know. However you listen to these podcasts, please leave a review on that platform. Let us know what we can do better, what you like, what you don't like, and how we can improve to make this show even better for you. We'll see you next time.